since Thursday, Friday, I said I want to do a live and I can't do a live all here. Outside with my children and my children, my grandchildren. My children and my children. Shit, I care about my limpy. Uh, Alright, so initially war in Limpy. Yeah, they just come up there for food, they ain't chop it. The cop checking this thing here for the cop.
Don't come by me!
Or you could use that same white thing to dip out.
No, don't come by me. I know.
Put your hand in here.
Watch it. Monday, Tuesday. What are you for?
Come, Princess Margaret, touch yourself. You're training to us.
Oh, so yeah.
I don't want them to come in here.
Monday, Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday.
In the grass area, just straight in the grass area for them to eat. Morning, Sandra. She said she like to see Princess Margaret. Limpy.
Watch it. You pick up some momentum there.
Limpy. So this one is Limpy. She with us call she Princess Margaret. Now I say call she Margaret. Now we call she Princess Margaret. This one here is Lily. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is the original flock. It used to, well, we used to call her Monday to Friday if you remember. Look here. And those who don't know, we actually have 2 additional chicken to the flock. I will get into that later. This is one of the new ones here, Lily. This is Lily here. And well, the next addition to the flock, we don't have a name for her. I hope that the video is not too grainy. And this is Popoli from our in the cage for them to eat last night. And we have 1 egg already. I don't know how you could see, but just now I will sit down. Just now I'll sit down in one spot so the connection will be a little better. But yes. So 2 in the cage right now. 1, 2 there. Yeah, it's a 1 egg already.
Dad, I can take a 1 egg.
What is the menu for Easter? Not the chickens, I can tell you that.
Yes, Limpy, especially.
Initially fighting Olympia war these days.
You know how you put them with this stick? Do it like a tissue style?
Mommy,
Olympia go break the stick.
No, you have to get the metal one. It's on the train.
Jilly, mommy want to cook Olympia.
No, this one. Don't ever do that. Mommy, what's that? This one or this one?
Uncle Dino, you hearing she? Jilly saying, mommy, which one you want to cook? This one and that one?
No, she never said that. You put 1 in. You put 1 in.
Limpy said I want the whole thing.
Yeah, Limpy does have to block your food, you know. Morning everybody, how are you doing today? I'm moving closer back to the house just in case the Wi-Fi ain't too good. I don't know what Nishili planning to cook. I know me planning to cook today. Nara always behind Lily. She trying to feed Lily grass. Naraya, Lily will not eat the grass, girl.
She can't eat the grass.
This is the pawpaw tree right now, all here. The pawpaw tree is actually flowers in. Don't forget to like up the live. And all here, check my pimento tree. Since Friday, I wanted to make a live, you know. Watch a thing now, all here. Watch my pimento tree. So my pimento tree looking all here. My pimento tree looking good. And here Nora, my eggplant looking good too, Ollie. My pimento tree looking good. Again, pimentos now. And this is the eggplant tree here. Leave it, I say, no on it, baby. Look at my eggplant tree here, Ollie. I had this one here, nice and big. Oh, there's no one that's ready to cook with ripe. I had this small one here. And this. There's about a week old. This one come out first. This is about 7-8 days. This one here. This was the second one, and this one getting bigger here. And the pawpaw tree is a female. It's starting to flower. These came out and it's about 2 weeks now. This is the pimento. Them fall out just now when I wet the plants. Something I heard somebody say that I recently learned. You don't pick pepper when rain falling. It does go bad fast. So you don't pick hot pepper and thing when rain falling. Yeah.
Dad, I want sweet pepper.
Oh, is she eating? But right now she opening out. She going to make she look bigger though.
I want this. I want this one too.
Yes. So we have 2 new chickens. The 2 new chickens are adopted chickens. They were bought from the Champion store that I bought them as babies. They were what, $120 for one. So now we have 6 laying birds in the flock. Lily is actually molting. So my birds are originally around 5 weeks and not 5 weeks, 5 months going on 6 months, and the new ones are 7 months going on 8 months old. So it was hard for them to adjust. They were picking each other, and they're still picking. And one of the reasons why we just call her Lily is, well, Nora named her, and Lily was the one who they used to attack the most. They always picking Lily in the head. That is her over there. Her comb is, you see, for yourself, they went and pick her. Her combs are not the reddest. She normally lays her egg like every day or every other day, depending. So like yesterday we get 5 eggs or 6. We get 5 yesterday. The day before we get 6 eggs. So that was one of the main reasons for purchasing 2 more as well, to get around 6 eggs a day. And not only that, I want to get a proper male, because all you see how limpidas be moving. Limpidas be under pressure. So I want to see in the future, the short future, to get a male. So at least 1 out of the 2 are the Rhode Islands, because they are broody hens, that they will sit down and they will hatch the eggs. And I have to do like a video update on how it is mining chicken. Morning, Diane.
Oh, you're not live?
Yeah. Wait what I want.
I thought you were making a video.
No, you no longer say that I make a live this morning.
Really?
This is Super Blue Daughter. All they look fair. You get next pepper jelly. See how she just up all in blue. How was the live showing, y'all? Leave a comment for me telling me how the live showing, and anytime it starts to show grainy as well, please notify me so I could see if I could improve the quality for y'all. Don't play with the water. They give them any crack on yet? Like up the live, Ollie, and happy Easter, happy Easter.
Calm down. She didn't do it for spite.
And I now tell to Ollie stop playing in water.
I never play in the water.
So why your hand wet?
Nine, go and just dry your foot with a towel, please.
Because you only want my phone.
Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Watch them. Watch the dino. Monday, Tuesday. Well, they want nothing to do with me because I'm not feeding all this morning.
It's my mother.
Less than half cup to get them. Watch them. She wants to eat out of the container. Don't jump. That what it does do. Put down the container, let's sheet out of the container. Look, they will open the next bucket. They will like them, eh? They don't play that. We don't play that. We don't play that. Thank you, Diane.
Look.
The Princess Margaret alone. She's the one who does look like she's in charge of the yard and she's the big dog. So that's why we start calling she Margaret. She's the biggest one. Hi Lily. This is Lily in front here, as I told you earlier. The combs on her head, and because she's molting, her feathers are a little bit different than the feathers of the others. I don't know if I could see it in the live. At the tell you get out of my garden.
Get out of the garden!
It has bun plants. Yeah, it can't put it, you just have to put it to dry and thing first. Limpy! Dal rice and curry shrimp, fam.
Rice and curry chicken.
Initially say curry chicken. Initially one Limpy, so don't study she. Everything is chicken for she. She and Limpy had a brawl the other day. See if Limpy come by the cup and they hold it. We raise up your hand here to feed Limpy too. Hey, she out of time, eh? Hey.
Hey! Stop picking the chicken!
They picking Lily. Don't raise your foot, baby. Keep your foot down. So that time you're outside playing with the chickens and one of them they and they pick her eye and she teeth and just laugh. You see how they pick how she try to pick Lily? Hey, Monday, Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday. Stop it.
Monday, Tuesday. Stop it!
Just say when you take the beak, that's a good, but like banana thing work. Where Princess Margaret come?
Princess Margaret.
Monday, Tuesday, eat. Look, Limpy coming for it now. Jelly, stop putting your hand in the water. It's still wet.
Look, he's pushing them, you know?
Yeah, well, you have to make room to eat. Yeah. Monday, Tuesday. Actually, you will be surprised when I open that front door. If I somewhere I say Monday, Tuesday, them coming for that food, you know. They know the names, you know. Now I pulling my hand while holding the phone.
Daddy, Mommy, I can feed the chicken.
I'm not seeing one missing, so that means somebody in the coop, laying in the coop.
Yeah.
Well, if I hear the laying song when they're under pressure is morning, Dolly. Morning, fam. So everybody who now joining the live, welcome to the live, y'all. Happy Easter. All they're not putting corn for the children to eat, all they're trying to flavor the chicken with corn. No more, right, Raya?
I want to feed the chicken.
So on average now we can get anywhere between 5 to 7 eggs a day. She laying? Yeah. So on
Mommy, what happened to your hand?
yeah, yo. Yeah, that Lily. Put it in your hand and feed she.
I don't like how that feels.
Lily, come.
Lily.
Look.
I put some.
Good girl, Lily.
Daddy, Lily must be a knife.
She just picking a little hard, right? Remember, she not accustomed. So Lily actually now learning how to forge and pick on the ground and just outside. I think what Saturday made it a week and a half or 2 weeks.
You have Lily longer than her.
So yeah, Saturday made it 2 weeks I have Lily. Right, stop
2
play.
weeks?
Yeah.
Lily older than
After
her.
No, she older, but how long I brought her home? This was the last time I worked on a Saturday.
No,
Yeah.
not this season.
You think before,
Just
yeah.
other Saturdays before that.
Yeah.
Lily had more than 2 weeks straight.
After big one.
Lily had over 2 weeks.
Lily.
Dolly wants to know if we are raising chicken for meat, Nish.
Limpy, yeah.
Nish, she want to slaughter Limpy. But these we originally had 4 layers and we got 2 more. And the 6 we have right now, we are rearing them for eggs and to be the family pet. So we hoping to get about 5 to 10 years out of them as much as we can, even when they stop laying as much eggs. No, that's not for you to wash your eggs. That's for the chicken and them. So even when they slow down on the egg production, because right now they could produce around 300 eggs a day. When they slow down to 100 or even 200, we could keep them and they could be the broody ones to raise. So the goal is to get one more male, so that male will be able to fertilize the eggs, and these 6 here could be the OGs, the first generation, and we could get offspring. So we don't have to go and buy new chicken every 2 years or 3 years to get a high egg production. And the broilers, they are the meat chickens, but we are not going to eat them. They are just the experiment to give a little better life and see how they last. And Princess Margaret, since we got about 5 eggs from her already, I believe. So Princess Margaret has been laying about 3 weeks now, and I believe we have about 5 eggs from her that we found already. So initially now finds that chicken prices are high, and like $30, $40 for chicken breast and thing. And what I was telling initially is that we could get a dozen broilers, because a dozen broilers is like $120, and we might spend about a 200 in feed, a 250 in feed, and in 6 weeks times she could slaughter them and she could have her own meat chickens. Because you go first.
So just when you open up your wings,
That is okay. He open up his wings just to make him look bigger. Stop playing in the water, Raya and Jaylee, please and thank you.
I'm not playing in the water.
Yeah. So we want to get some more broilers to be the meat chickens, but we will have to house them separately, put them separately, because they are messy. When they poop, they just poop like diarrhea, and they just overeat and they just get bigger and sluggish. So we do plan on spending like a little 150 to get some. And how these at this age, they could be considered broiler parents. They reach the stage where, as I said, she is laying her eggs. On average, she will lay about 2 to 3 eggs a week, depending. Some weeks she might lay 1. You could actually incubate them eggs and hatch it. I have seen other till appear bigger.
why?
Because you're on them. So you could actually put her eggs in an incubator and you could make broiler chicks on your own, because broiler chicks are made up of AB and BC in the breed, and we have a female and 2 males. So I have seen someone do it in the States, so it's possible, but we won't try that at the moment. We just wanted to see how they grow up, and we know if we have to raise broiler to this age, we'll just limit their feed, because that is why we separated them. They were eating all the layers feed. So they were just constantly yum 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 yum, and the others had less. Morning, Uncle Dino. Hey, I missed some comments. Hey, good morning. Okay, Samantha, no problem. Um, yes, free range are the best chickens. And we see the difference with the color, with the yolk and thing, and how they eating the bugs and those type of things. Dolly say, "Get a chicken and name it Dolly for she."
One of you chicken, we gonna name Dolly.
No, she say one we go name Dolly. And thank you for that, Dolly. Thank you. We'll see if we name one of them after you.
One of the brown ones.
No, she say she gonna name one of the brown ones. Okay. You know what we could do for you, Dolly? As I told you, one of the new ones. She is Lily, and we know her by the comb on her head. We don't have a name for the next one, so we can name the next one Dolly, right? So there we have it. Dolly, we naming one of them after you. The second new one, we will name her Dolly, right?
I think she in the coop.
She might be in the coop right now.
Can I Lily there?
Yeah, that Lily in the cage right now. Uncle Dino, happy belated anniversary, my brother. All the best to you and the wifey. I know you said that you passed up on the side, my brother. Continue doing your thing, my brother. All the best. Yes. And just yesterday, I said to call your Uncle Dino, but I was busy on work, so that's how I didn't get a flash here.
You hear that?
Jacob, what they was doing? Yam, yam, yam. Mom. Which part? Don't forget, update me if the Wi-Fi signal change, so I will know what is going on. I'm trying to give Oli a glimpse inside the coop. Let me know if the signal drop. So yes, this is what I told you all. The two Rhode Islands, they are broody hens. So you see, I have one egg in the box. I know my chickens as well. So that first egg in there, that is from one of the layers on them. She normally lays her egg by 8 o'clock in the morning. And then the second layer will lay one by 9, 10 o'clock. By 12 o'clock, I will normally have about 4 eggs. And by 1 o'clock, I will have either 5 or 6. The broiler, she lays her egg in the grass. All over the yard, they could walk and they could find her egg. So even if I find her egg and it's like 2 days old or 3 days old, I will just scramble it and give it back to them. Uncle Dino, something me and Johnny start. We start a little cleaning and we start to try to do a little staircase there.
Daddy?
Yeah, baby.
Why
So-
does make now?
And you see the little back and no railing. They just go down here for bugs and thing now.
Maybe you can go down there for this, Daddy?
Yes, love.
My sister's still in.
Who'd move the stool? Jelly, where the stool?
I just put it on Uncle Johnny.
Bring it for me, baby. I told you I say down on it.
No.
Go back for it, please.
I want you to sit down there.
No, baby. Go back for it for daddy.
Why?
Thank you, Raya.
Not again.
He don't have a name. This is the second male. We don't have a name for him as yet. As I say, when we got them, the original name was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now we have Monday, Tuesday, which is the original two. These two are Monday, Tuesday here. That is Limpy making noise. The new one is Lily. And we say we would name the next one Dolly and on our Dolly. Dolly said we had to name one for she.
Sit down here.
Thank you, baby.
Sit down. Put your hand on your head.
Hmm?
Put your hand on your head.
Yeah, baby.
I'll put your head up. I'll put
Just
your
now.
hand on your head.
Just now, baby. Just now.
Ah.
And daddy not put your hand on your head, right?
Why?
So will I continue solar if they put power in your area? Yes, I will continue solar. Why? Okay, so let me break the bubble here, right? So in order for you to get current in your house, for example, could say our place is a 2-bedroom house, right? In order for us to get current here, we have to wire our house. Our electrician will charge anywhere between 15,000 to 25,000 to wire a house like this. So that one, 15 to 20,000. Now we stay on the lower end, 15,000. It will take in materials just to wire it. Based on our location, the lamppost may drop in front of my mother's house. So we'll have to put one private pole in front by the corner by her in front, and then a second private pole somewhere over here in order for it to reach our house. So let's say that's at least $5,000 in 2 private poles in the yard for us to get electricity. That is 20,000 you're looking at just to get the lamppost and the wiring for your place. So that includes your meter, your breaker panel, your breakers, your wire, your blah blah blah. When the month come, every other month, now you have a light bill to get. If we ever get current, what I will do, I've been honest with you all, is we will wire our house, put on the current from TNTech, and we will just turn off our breaker panel. So that way, we do not have the current coming into the house. And once in a blue moon, when it have bad weather and we have rain for 2 days or 3 days and we solar low, we turn it on, we charge back up with solar, and we turn it back off. So that is my view on current. We don't need it. We can use our television and watch TV however long we want. We can use our washing machine and wash clothes. We can use our dryer. We can do everything. So I am not, if we get lamppost today or tomorrow, I'm not in a hurry to spend $20,000 to just hook up the connection to my house for me to get current. When that 20,000 could be done, spent to tile the house, to do suspended ceilings, install some doors, and even paint an air conditioned unit. And when we put in the air conditioned unit, between the hours of 9 in the morning till about 2, 3 o'clock in the evening, that running completely off a solar, so I don't even have to worry about my electricity bill going up. So that is my view on the solar. Thank you, Dolly. Yes, that's correct. I like to check the chat and not to live chat. All messages are thing. Uncle Dino, does remember this? It had a time we were doing a live over 2 years ago, where we was living in Arima, and we wasn't seeing none of the comments because it was just on like top chat or something. So, and Uncle Dino and Nelly, Livy, everybody was just having a good time in the conversation in the comment section, and I not seeing nothing. I not seeing nothing. And I just always remember that how my subscribers just having a good time interacting with each other. That is one of my fun memories. Lily, wow. Ole ain't go believe it, Livy. Wherever you is, girl, I know you're looking down at us, and you'll continue to be proud of us, my sister. I wish you all the best in your new journey. For those who don't know, Livy is a subscriber who we lost last year, February the 10th, on my birthday. And we first met her about 3-4 years ago when Trouble hosted the corridor competition. She came out, we met her, we spent time. She used to visit in the library and drop off things for the girls. Have a blessed day, Gerard. Good morning, good morning. So yes, yes. Oh, shout out my girl Nels as well too. I was messaging Nels after thing. I tell Nels I was doing a live this morning. I said I message she or call she too. But I wanted to do a video. I have some, all you don't know, but I have so much content I have to do. I have to do the next 6 months update of living off grid with solar, because you all know I documented the journey. Where the first 6 months was using gadgets, the second 6 months was the deep cycle batteries on them, and then the third 6 months period here is using the Mango Power. So I have to do a solar update on that. I have to do the video that I edited and I made last time, but I never post, but I lost everything on building a house and using reclaim and use material. I had to do a video on that, and I had to do a video on raising chickens. So let me just give you a quick breakdown. So when we bought these chickens could have been between $20 to $25 for one. And I bought four first, and then two died. And then I went back and I had to buy two more to replace them. And I got the Rhode Island Reds for $35 for one, and the broilers were like $11 or $12 for one. So I bought three just in case something happened to them too. And then I was spending on average about $20 a bag of feed for the first month. And then after that, I was paying like $40 a week in feed. And after the 2 months mark, on the 3 months mark, I was spending around $200 a month in feed. So let's say I spent roughly about $800 in feed just behind these chickens and them, and then additional $425. So let's say about $1,200 I spent for the first 5 months to have four chickens to lay egg. So I will tell people from the jump that raising chicken for eggs, it's cheaper to buy eggs in the grocery than you want. So but I wanted, this is something I always wanted to do in life, so I pushed through and I did it. Because as I said, if you had to do this, it's about $800 to do it. And when I wanted to get a bigger flock, I was like, okay, if I buy too much chicken from baby, I'm not guaranteed that all might live. So I might have to buy four, which would be like $100 in chickens. And then if I was spending that amount in feed, because these chicken big already, I couldn't go and start and buy starter feed and then grow, because these here is laying mash and the bigger mash are using. So over that 5 months period to wait for them four chickens or three chickens to get big, I might have spent about $400 in feed. So I found it would have been cheaper to buy two big chickens at $120 for one, which was $240 for Lily and Dolly. So that is what I did to have six chickens, and then our chickens does hardly eat the feed because they're free ranging. So this feed that I'm feeding them here, this big bag of feed was purchased since, let's say, the 27th to the 28th of last month with crack corn, and I still have a little less than half, but this amount of feed here will last them about 3 weeks and gain before I have to buy feed. And this is the Nutrimix feed, which is the $100 bag of Nutrimix, because the regular lane mash is $230 for a bag. I say my chicken hardly eating feed, so I just buy this $100 bag of Nutrimix and then a $40 bag of lane mash, and I throw that for them. So I mix the feed with layer and growing mash. So this here is what remained back from the the growing mash feed. Not grower, sorry, the laying mash. So this have what they need to lay eggs properly. I would just throw a little handful of that ever so often throughout the yard for them, so they will mix up and get and mix their everything they need. I feed them back the eggshells to get back the calcium as well. So it was cheaper for me to add two more big chicken to the flock. And if I get a meal to purchase for $200 now, that will bring the total up to about $1,500, right? And with the meal, what I could do is let they fertilize the egg for themselves, let they raise the chicken, and let me say every month if I have a 3 or 4 chicken added to the flock, and they teach each other how to forage and those type of things. Or even if I decide to sell those chickens, if I get a pure breed um Rhode Island or a pure breed layer for $250 or something from the store, and I don't have Limpy and them and game, so I just have a pure breed to mate with them, then I could resell those same chicks for $15 or $20, and I could make money because As I say, one of them was like $20 to $25 for one, versus if you're selling eggs, 12 eggs costing what? $20, $25 for 12 eggs, versus if I hatch 10 chickens and I sell them $10 for one when they hatch, that's $100 I'm making. So that's how we have to deal with chickens to make it profitable. And the broilers and them every hour them does screw. Sometimes every 10-15 minutes them does screw. Again, some comments here. Samantha, honestly, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. Electricity is very high. Well, if you have electricity in your home and you are looking at solar to reduce your electricity, then solar may not be the best thing for you to invest in. What might be more affordable for you to do is invest in appliances and things to reduce your electricity bill at home. That is just my honest feedback, because what I tell people is I just be open and honest. I don't try to sell you something. So like for example, we don't use Lasco fans, because if we had to use Lasco fans, each Lasco fan we put in a bedroom will use between 50 to 70 watts, and we use 3 fans, drawing room and 2 bedrooms, so 70 and 70, and our next 70, like 200 watts, versus we use the solar power fans, which is low energy fans, what use on average, let's say about 12 to 25 watts, and at the highest speed 28 watts, the blue ones 25 watts. So we could have our refrigerator plugged on whole night and those 3 fans on, and our house uses under 200 watts when the night come. And even with the television on, our TV used to use 100 watts, and we reduced the wattage on our TV to only use 40 watts. So if you were doing things like that in your home, and let's say your light bill was approximately, let me say light bill is like $800, by you doing that, your light bill will be cut drastically, because you're only using energy efficient things. And not only that, you don't have everything on at the same time, because that's how TNTech does charge you by the hour, your ratings, if you're using 400 watts. Next thing you could do is your light bulbs in your house. Make sure you only have energy efficient light bulbs. So through our entire house, we have 7 watt light bulbs. We don't use 9 watt, 12 watts, 100 watts light bulb. We use 7 watts. So we have our outside light in the back, our front light, a kitchen light, a drawing room light, a bathroom light. And we have 2 of the big lights, like the solar lights in the drawing room and over the 2 bedrooms. So when we come home from work, we don't even have to flip our lights, we just have lights on in the house. So we do that so when it have rain and those type of things. A matter of fact, this light what us be here in the drawing room kitchen area, that don't come off whether rain falling or sun shining. Well, when sun comes on, the light comes off, but that light is always on a low setting, so that's the night light for the house. The girls have to use the bathroom, it always have a light on in the house whole night. That is where the light for, and the one over the 2 bedrooms we take them off. In the long run, will good morning, it will pay off in the long run. Solar is something depending on how you use it and how you invest in it. It could depend if it pays off in 5 years or 20 years. So in our case, so okay, in just 1 year living off grid, behind electricity and things to save on current, we spent over $20,000. So it's all about how you start off. And that is why I make these videos, so somebody does not go out there and spend $20,000 behind a generator, and every week they have to be spending $300 in gas, because it adds up over time. That is why I make this content, to show people how to live on a budget, how to do things affordable, and those type of things. It's the same way I'm talking to you all about raising chickens. Like one of the things I saw when it comes with raising chickens, if I had to do it over again, what I would have told somebody is, when you raise chickens, you have to spend so much between food and those type of things for these chickens. And for the first 5 to 6 months, they don't lay any eggs. And depending on how much you raise, you could spend between $500 to $1,000 in feed. What I will tell you to do is purchase some X layers, because most poultry farmers in Trinidad and Tobago, after the chickens reach a year or 2 years, they sell them. What goes on with chickens is the first year they might lay 300 eggs. The second year, they might lay 280 eggs, 250 eggs. The third year, they might get 225 eggs. The chickens will just go from laying an egg every day to every other day will get an egg. Or let's say every week you might get 4 to 5 eggs. That is still better than going 5 months without laying eggs. And some places I've seen people selling egg layers for, let's say, $40, $45. And some people, when the chickens start molting, that's when they lose their feathers. These people sell these chickens for $30, $40. So if you purchase these birds at 18 months or 2 years at $40, that means you can get 3 chickens for, some of them just give you a deal, 3 for 100. You could buy 6 of them and you just feed them, and it might go, let's say, about a 2 weeks to 6 weeks of molting, and after that they start laying eggs constantly. Because I saw it for myself by Silver Fox Home Depot in Locketa when he was selling layers, that even though they were molting, they were still laying eggs in the cage. So I will tell somebody who want to mind chickens to get eggs. And not only that, these chickens never had interactions with humans, so they won't run away from you, and that way you will get eggs for your family. So as I say, compared to going the 5 months with no eggs, I will still tell you buy 3 4 eggs to raise from babies, because it's a nice feeling. But I don't want to go over mining a dozen chicks or half dozen chicks, because every evening you have to come home and check, clean the coop, clean the mess, and those type of things. Right now my chickens are low maintenance. They live free whether I'm home or not. I just come out and I change the water and I throw feed for them. In the night I just come home and I lock the cage. I wash it down. Watch. Look, initially bringing table scrap for them. So you see? She like to touch her limpy. Hey.
Hi.
Mommy, come
I
on.
come in after throw the chicken. You call it after the
And initially feeding the chicken by the way, just in case.
bread.
It's bread with chicken in it.
Shut up.
No, that's just bread.
Initially throwing bread with chicken in it for the chickens. Yeah, so
That's
yeah.
just bread. That's just
Good morning,
bread.
Denise.
The pressure anyway.
Mommy, that's just bread.
So the
Mommy,
thing is,
that's
Look,
just
what?
bread.
Look.
she get one. She take it from me mouth. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the thing is, in everything you do in life, something
Lily
will
never
pay
did
off, but
some.
is when it will pay off. But the goal is to be
Look, baby. Watch.
self-sufficient and not having a need. So up here, it had a point in time when current used to go plenty, and we
Lily
never
never
experienced
did
it
some.
because obviously we have solar, so we always have light in our house.
Lily never did
We could
some.
always watch TV anytime we want. Yeah.
The next meal.
So
Look, Princess Margaret. So I can forget again.
so like,
Look.
Jelly, come off daddy's slipper. Go and get your slippers.
Like to see my slipper.
So if you have to invest in solar, I will tell you that so I met some Jelly, you put me underneath my thing. I met somebody recently and they told me that they purchased 100 and the family purchased 100 and something $1,000 in solar. And they were told that they can't use a toaster.
Mommy,
They can't
that's
use this, they
Lily
can't
Sam.
use that.
Look, Lily.
It have so many people in Trinidad and Tobago who selling here bogus solar systems that you can't do anything. And I always said to you all that lithium-ion battery is something that I cannot afford. And if I had to, those were the things that I would have done. And I have been using lead acid batteries. And after a year, you have something on the stove, babes. It's burning. Yeah. She wants to feed chicken and she wants to make breakfast. Yeah. And those batteries went bad. Even my mom with her AGM battery, she having complications with those things and using her solar. So lithium ion batteries are the way to go, and people selling those things too expensive. And that is one of the reasons when Mango Power reached out to me, I fell in love with the system, because I knew what it was from the jump. And if somebody have to buy solar, I will tell them guys what they have to go with in Trinidad. If they are away, they have to get that type of system, all-in-one system, lithium ion, because that is the only thing that can power your house 24/7. You wouldn't have a problem with it. If you had rain for 2 days and the system low, you could pull out a generator and charge back your house, your whole system in about 2 to 3 hours time. Um, Jelly, and I told you go for your slippers. No peace sign. Go for your slippers before peace stop happening. Thank you. Go and put on your slippers, love. Yes, yo. And that system that Mango Power sells is 25,000 for the Mango Power E. It's a 3 kilowatt system. You can use that system to power your house. But if you want to power your house 24/7 and use Lasco fan, 3 Lasco fan in your house, your fridge, your deep freeze, the system will not last overnight, because solar is one aspect. Solar is capturing the energy from the sun. And as much as the sun does rise from 6 o'clock in the morning and sets at 6, you only have 5 peak hours of sun. And that could be anywhere between the hours of 9 to 2. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. That is when the sun will be shining the hottest, where you will get the most of the solar coming in. So while you're using things, it could be charging. The other times now between 6 and 9, you wouldn't be getting the sun hot to power everything. So let's example, I have 2 panels that are 570 watts. So let's say roughly 1200 in panels. When it's 6 o'clock, I might be getting about 10, 15 watts coming in. Yeah, Nesh? I'm coming. Yes, you also saw my son. So that's a perfect example. Like you all see where the sun reach right now? It overhead. Brooklyn in the house. Good morning. Yes. So really and truly, when you have solar, you have to check it as 12 to 16 hours of not okay. See, watch now. I just showed you all the sun, and I see how it was hot. Look at the sky now. Clouds blocking it. So my 1200 watt panel might be only getting 150 watts because the sun blocking it. When the sun move, it will go up to about a thousand or something. That's how it will fluctuate. So you need to check. Okay, I have 3000 watts of solar. If I have 3000 watts of solar and I am using 100 watts an hour, then that 3000 could last me approximately 30 hours. But if I'm using 200 watts an hour, that will only last me what? 15 hours. If I'm using, let's say, 500 watts of solar and it's 3000 I have, and that 500 is your air conditioner, a window AC, a TV, at this, at that, and 500, that will only last you 5 hours. That is one of the reasons why when I was purchasing appliances for the house, I always purchase energy efficient things, and I learned to modify them or um, adjust them. So the deep freeze we have here, that uses about 70 watts an hour. The fridge, that uses between 80 to 200 watts depending on how the cycle goes, when it's switch on, when it needs a cool thing, when it fluctuates. But our fridge never stays on for hours straight. It cycles on like every 20 minutes and run for 10-15 minutes. That's how our fridge does work. So it won't pull 100 watts for a whole hour. The TV used to use 100 watts. It's using about 42 watts now. The girls TV used to use 60. They're using about 28 watts now. So you'll see how if my fridge is using roughly 80 to 100 watts and I put on my TV, that's 140. I put on a fan and that's using 15. I put on a second fan, that's using 15. That there already is about, let me say, a 170. I can use 170 for how much ever hours straight. But by 12 o'clock in the night, the latest we just watch TV in this house is 11, 12 o'clock. Sometimes you get up early and we put on the TV 5 o'clock. But if you are using things like Lasco fan, 3 Lasco fans, 2 Lasco fans, that is 150 watts, and you still want to plug in a fridge and a deep freeze, it will not last you overnight. So that is why the dryer we use is a 110 dryer and it works with cooking gas. So when I put on my dryer uses 250 watts. And every 5 to 10 minutes it comes on and use 900 watts for 5 to 10 seconds and then it drops. So the dryer is an energy efficient dryer. It's not using 900 watts consecutively. Because if it was using 900 watts, after drying clothes for 3 hours, my system would have been dead. So you understand what I tell you? You have to understand how solar works. Because the system where I have, let's say okay, so how we use it now is our refrigerator is on 24/7. My deep freeze has nothing but ice in it. So my deep freeze, I only turn on my deep freeze in the morning. Some mornings I turn it on at 6, some mornings I turn it on at 9, and by 6 in the evening it comes off. My deep freeze is just an ice box. If my neighbor, my mother, somebody wants ice, that is okay, baby. When you get up, you get your slipper. Somebody will get ice. If we need ice to do something or something to cold fast, but everything is on our fridge. Our fridge does not come off. I can leave the deep freeze 24/7 one, but it doesn't make sense because, as I said, we only store ice in our deep freeze. So during the day, the deep freeze and the fridge running. In the night, only the refrigerator running. If you are living off grid or you want to live off grid, in my videos I tell you that buy a deep freeze, because when a fridge remains unplugged for 2 hours or 3 hours, the food in it will spoil. If a deep freeze remains 5 hours unplugged, the things will not go bad. It will just start thawing out, but it will still be frozen. Even if you have bad weather, you can run your deep freeze in the day and unplug it in the night from 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. And when 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock reach in the morning, once you open it, you plug it back in and everything will remain frozen in your deep freeze. And it only uses 70 watts, the same thing as a Lasco fan. Naraya, you know you're not supposed to be playing with water, right? You want to wash the plant?
Yeah.
I know. She had to wet the plant, not wash the plant. So that is a tip for you. You live off grid. The fridge will use more energy. The deep freeze will use less. But the deep freeze can go more hours unplugged without your things going bad. When we moved in here, we left our location with ice in the bottom of the deep freeze. And that ice in the bottom of our deep freeze lasted us for 7 days. And I was surprised to see that ice could last you for so long in a deep freeze. So I could tell you all, if you want to go off grid, if you want to use less energy in your house, plug your deep freeze into your solar. It will use less energy. You don't have to worry about your things going bad. You just won't be able to store chicken and frozen things for long, but you could put things in the deep freeze what could take the fluctuation of extremely cold and normal cold. No, it will nothing, because that is what a deep freeze does do. A deep freeze does cycle on and cycle off. So you can manually go and turn it off and turn it on. Also, I use it with a smart plug. So mine is always on the max settings. So when I turn it on, whether the weather bad or not, is at the max. So, and not only that, you can even buy like if you all follow me on TikTok, you'll see my mom has an energy efficient deep freeze. Her deep freeze uses like 50 watts an hour when it's on. So if I had a smaller deep freeze like that, I would have left my deep freeze on 24/7. But I love to have. So even though my system can support it overnight, I still won't do it overnight, because I want to know if I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and want to put on my PlayStation, I can play a game. So that is why I say the only thing I leave on 24/7 is the fridge. The deep freeze, I will cycle it on and off. Some nights I will leave it until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I only do that because, as I say, most time, okay, with the 1,000, okay, remember I told you all this 1,200 watts of solar I have on the roof, right? So when the sun is at its hottest, between 9 to 2, with 1,200 watts of solar and my system being 3 kilowatts, when 11 o'clock reach, my system is at 100%, it's full. So I need to exhaust current because I have too much current coming in. So that's one of the reasons I put on the deep freeze, to help bring down the current, because by a certain time in the day, it is full to the max. Edwards, thank you, fam. Thank you. That's Laurie. Thank you, Laurie. Thank you. So, as I was saying, that is one of the reasons that I do that, to help carry it down, because my system will just be reaching 100 constantly full and then dropping. So I try to leave things on in the day to keep it low. How Trinidad and Tobago is supposed to work is when you use solar and you have the correct equipment, the excess current that you have should be fed back to the grid and TNTech pay you money. That doesn't happen in Trinidad. There is places that they are testing it right now to feedback. You can't do that on your own because you don't want to do that and then somebody working on a line and them thinking it has no current and they get electrocuted up there. So when it's done, it has to be done correctly because there's the system in place in the States, right? So that is how solar is supposed to be working. That is how we have to reach in this country. So when I'm not at home, imagine that when I'm not at home, my deep freeze is only using 70 watts and my fridge is using 100, 120 watts. So that is only 200 watts an hour my house is using. So also the fridge doesn't stay on in the daytime whole day, it cycles on and off. So ever so often, 20 minutes or a half an hour every hour is only the 70 watts it's using for my deep freeze because the fridge is cycling on and off. So when I'm at home now, the difference is I might have one or two light bulbs and that is 14 watts for those 2 light bulbs. I will have on my fire stick and my TV, which is an additional 40 watts, and the girls may be in the bed, which is 15 watts for their fan, and 10 watts or 15 watts for our fan. So as I said, let me go inside now and give you all a look at. Let's have a pipe just running outside here. That jelly. That nine, you can't leave the pipe running, baby. You're wetting up the yard. So the time right now is 8:52. So that means that, okay, good example, initially washing, because I don't want to tell Holly my deep freeze wouldn't be on as yet. She cooking?
Yes.
So this is the system here, and we are at 48%. This is just the Mango E, the 3 kilowatt system here, and we have 350 or 53 watts going out, nothing for the DC, and 48% using this amount of current, 357 watts. You could see the system saying remaining I could get about 4 hours out of it, but on top right now I'm only getting 420 watts coming in, so I'm getting about 50 to 100 watts more coming in than I'm using. So you see going up 500 right now, 600. That's because the sun coming out now. 671. So this is how the weather fluctuating. So in the house, one light bulb in the kitchen, the TV, everything is on, PlayStation and thing unplug. The fans off. That is basically it. And well, initially washing some clothes in the corner here. I think this needs some more water in it. Watch where it reach in the clothes. I'll just so
But on high.
I now switch it to high. It was here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mommy, have we stuff like that?
So as I put the machine back to get some more water to full, you will see that the current for the house drop because it's just sucking in the water. So this here is what the house is actually using with the fridge on 110 watts. So this is the fridge and a light bulb on and just recharging the fans. So at this 110 watts, you see the system saying at 48%, there's 11 hours left. So if it was 100% full, it would have said 20 hours left.
Because the one I was
So,
from the chicken was
toast bread. You must use the other butter, babes. I tell you, that is the expensive butter. I know that is $50 butter. Julie trying to fire a kite. Yeah, well, I'm trying to get my slipper to walk back outside. So that is a perfect example to show you all washing clothes using 300 watts and a battery at 50%. If you had 50% and it's the night time, do you really want to wash clothes and those things and you see that your battery saying 4 hours left? That means no, you won't wash all your clothes. You will do your priority clothes. You'll wash one load of clothes, you'll dry one load of clothes. So even if your system drop down to 40% after, there is still enough current to take you over the night. Candy apples. And now I have to go back to get the comments right. Would you? Okay, yes, I replied to your comment. I didn't see your name before, sorry. Yes, thank you. No problem. The videos, the playlist, everything is there on YouTube. Not sure if you'll be able to give an accurate response, but which electrical appliances are plugged in but not on in use? Does it still consume electricity and add to your bill? So yes, that is a beautiful question. So back when we used to be using our 4 panels, which are 150 watts, and we were using these lead acid deep cycle marine batteries, what are designed for that purpose, we had to be mindful of that, because even though you have something plugged in and it's off, it will still consume current. But if you are okay, let me give you a perfect example, right? The first set of solar I did was build a system for myself because we were off grid and we needed to do certain things. And as a parent, a father, a husband, I never wanted my family to be without. So I decided to buy one of those batteries, which was like $1,000 in price, Matt. Those are 92 amp hour batteries. You only get half of that. Half of 92 is how much, people? 40 how much? 46. So those were 46 amp hours I would have been getting. 46 then multiply by 12 would have given me how much amp hours I would have gotten. So let's say, let me simple it for y'all. Because as those batteries lead acid, they could only use half. Lithium ion batteries, they could use a whole 100% of it. So if I have a 100 amp hour battery, multiply by that is 12. That is 1200 watts. These what I had here is less than 1200 I would have been getting. I would have been getting, let's say, about 400 watts I'd have been getting from it. And when I plugged in the inverter was a yellow box that would have regulate and convert the current from DC, direct current from the battery, to AC, alternating current, in order to plug in my appliances. But those things are not efficient. So for example, in order for me to get 100 watts to come out of the inverter, it has an efficiency of about 15 to 20%. So in order for me to get 100 watts coming out, it needed to convert it and pull it out. So it would have used 120 watts. So instead of me getting out of that 400 watts, and saying it's 4 hours I would have gotten. No, I might have been only able to get about 3 hours. 3 hours and 20 minutes out of it. And why I'm going through this is to answer your question. So if that is all I'm getting, does that mean that I can leave things plugged in? Because some things will use current. So for example, my solar fan, when it's plugged in and not in use, it will be pulling 6 watts to charge it back to 10 watts. So 6 to 10 watts. When it's fully full, it will still be pulling 6 watts. When my television is plugged in and it's not showing anything, that LED light at the bottom of it, that will use 2 to 3 watts plug in. When I plug in my phone to charge, my phone will use 12 watts to charge. But if I plug it into the USB port alone, it will use 6 or 8 watts. So I use less energy by using the cord. When I have on my light bulb will say 7 watts. If I have on 3 light bulbs, it will say 21. So if I just have my fan plugged in, will it be using current? Yes, it will. But it depends on the type of appliances you have as well, like standby mode. Most of our appliances don't use more than, let's say, 2 to 3 watts by being plugged in. But if you have 10 things just in standby mode using 3 watts, that is 30 watts it's using. So that is how I'll answer your question. So what we never used to leave plugged on when we were using those batteries on the ground was the TV, was the fire stick. When we're not using it, we'd have unplugged it. The fans, if the fans were fully charged and we were not using it, we'd have left it unplugged. Um, the charging block and the charger, just by having it rest down there, it might be using 1 to 2 watts. So that is how we used to check those things and how we used to use it. In your personal home now, your microwave wouldn't be pulling too much. Your LED lights and those type of things might be using at 5 watts or 10 watts. If you have LED strips and LED lights in your house, it wouldn't be high, it will be very low. Your water kettle, if it's off, it's not pulling any current. If it's on, it will be pulling like 900 watts, 1200 watts with your water kettle. Anything with heating elements will use a lot of current. A toaster, oven, an air fryer, 1500 watts at least. If it's off, it won't be using any current. Your TV in screensaver mode, that will be using lots of current, so better just to take off your television. Your iron will use 1200 watts when it's on, but it will be cycling on and off. That is why you remember a long time parents used to cuss you and tell you all kind of things as a trainee if you'll forget your iron on. An iron does pull 1200 watts. So imagine that you forget the iron on for a night or to go out for 5 hours. That 1200 watts it's using. And long time all we used to be using them old light bulbs, them 100 watts light bulb. So imagine your parents have 8 of them light bulbs on overnight in the house. And you live on that iron. That 2000 watts can pull an hour day from them 8 light bulbs and that iron you forget on. So them light bulb was high when they get because that 200 watts, 2000 watts, and that more than how much our AC go use. So that is how you have to be mindful when you're using those things. In our house, we use whatever we want whenever we want to use it. We'll be extra mindful if it's rainy and our system is low. We try when it's time to go to sleep to not have our system below 70%. So we'll stay up, we'll watch TV, it might drop as low as 65. But we do that because we never know what the next day will bring. In the sense of if tomorrow is only rain. So it was a long weekend. We watched TV. I didn't go to work when it was I still yeah. Friday I was home, we watched TV, those type of things. When we wake up in the morning, the system was down to 34%. Saturday charge back up. We didn't watch TV last night, we went to bed early. But if we were home and we know that we're going to be home the next day, we want to treat every day as a fun day. So we want to be able to wash, we want to be able to do things. So we don't use something out to the last because we don't know how the next day will be. But even if we do, it will charge back up quick. Or we could just plug in the generator and in 2 hours time on a rainy day, we could charge back up. So on a rainy day, we don't have to say we not watching TV, we not doing this. The only thing we go say on a rainy day as well, it then make no sense to plug on the deep freeze and the deep freezer ice in it. That's 70 watts. It's using every hour. We could watch the two TVs and put on a fan with that. So that is just how we does do it. Are energy bulbs truly energy efficient and cost effective as they say, opposed to the regular bulb? Yes, that is what I was explaining to you just now. So all the bulbs we have in our house is 7 watts bulb, like this one over the front door. It's not huge and it's not small and tiny, but it's a good size. In the night, it's very bright. In the day, it's not so bright. But the purpose of it is it uses less energy. So by me having only 5 bulbs in my house, when I have one that is 5 times 7, 35, versus me having 100 watt yellow bulb. When I have one of those 5 yellow bulbs, that would have been 500 watts my whole house using, versus the 35 watts I'm using by just having those energy efficient bulbs. And those were purchased in Valencia Hardware for $10 for one. So it is affordable. If you want, you could buy the expensive one for $70, which is the ones when current go for 4 to 5 hours it was still lit. We don't buy them thing because when current go, we still have current. You understand? We just have one of those in the bedroom. So like if Nish need a night light or something, she'll just click it on. But they are very energy efficient. And let me let initially answer it for you.
Mommy, go ahead and put it.
Oh, I feel like just sneeze.
Why are you sneezing?
Just now, Daddy gonna ask mommy something. Initially, are energy efficient bulbs really energy efficient bulbs good compared to the other bulbs? So this is daytime and this is how bright the bulb is here. Initially using it in the kitchen. Where's your take on using that versus the regular bulbs?
Now the wattage in these not as high as the regular bulbs.
That is
Well,
because
these are the ones that you buy.
that is because I chose the
Low
not
wattage.
the low wattage one in order to have the lights on longer. So as I said, these are 7 watts bulb. We also have this solar light here. But if you want, you can put a 10 watt, a 12 watt in your house. And in the night, we also have this solar light that is on. So as I said, when we come out in the drawing room, we don't actually have to put on a light or anything like that. Look, for example, right now, nobody's in the bedroom and the fan just on, right? And that's because we had the current to spare. So over the 2 bedroom now, we have this one here as well. So the light will shine over the 2 bedroom. And this here is one of the bulbs what I told you all. I don't know if you all could see it, but that is one of those bulbs that you see, it lights.
Yeah,
When current gone.
That bright one is the button.
Yeah, and this is a 10 watt. This is the one where I told you all if current gone, it will stay on for 4 hours. If you touch it, oh, put a little moisture by it, they will be on. So it's all about how you choose to put your house. So even if we don't have solar, we can still function. We can still use our fan because it have a built-in battery. So we can get 6 hours out of the battery. We can still have light in the house. The only thing we need the solar for really and truly is to power the fridge and the deep freeze. I'm gonna tell you, the deep freeze does be packed. It'll be packed. You see, now it's like Christmas. You still have a toast in the pot? Not moisture, energy efficient bulb, but it works when current gone. So when there's still a flow or anything to show that it grounded off or something, yeah, it will light. So that's why when I do that, it lights. Will make the necessary adjustment. Okay, no problem, no problem. So that was it. Living with solar is one thing, but understanding how solar works and having the right things to work with it is the next thing. So by you doing those things, you could reduce your bill. So for example, let's see the lamp, the light will show you by the kitchen area. Those were like $70 when this ice scroll my blood and hurt my teeth. Mm-mm. That plastic, that nothing to kill. So you could just change out your things in your house. Don't use the old bulbs. I will tell you, 7 watts is low, but it's good for us because of the small space. If you want, you could do 9 watts, 10 watts, 12 watts. Put it in a bright area, your small spaces like your bathroom and those type of things. Or somewhere that you just need a small thing, you could use a 5 watts. It have options to choose from. And then we just use one water tank. And we just normally use it when water pressure extremely low, that we can't fill the bucket. Most times, let me say 3 months, we must be just use the tank once to twice a month, if so much. Like this month we use the tank twice. One of the reasons why Trinidad, they never implemented the meter thing throughout everybody's house in Trinidad is if we actually paid for the amount of water that we receive, they wouldn't be getting so much money, because most places in Trinidad and Tobago do not have a proper water supply. And I just say this, we don't need the water pressure to be heavy. We just need water in the pipe every day. Even if it's low, we could work with that. But you see this schedule with only 2 days and 3 days again water, that is a no-no. We could fill up buckets, we could fill up with tank, we could fill up things and use it. Like me, Wednesday the pressure was low, Thursday the pressure was low, Friday the pressure was low. That didn't bother we. The pressure come high today, so we washing clothes. We have an automatic machine, so you can't wash with low water pressure. But we were still thankful that we got water. It had 2 mornings where it was extremely slow, and that is when we pour on the tank. See? Place getting cloudy in the back. This is how I know how the weather will be by me for the day. Over there, if it's black and it's a little dark, but we won't get the rain here if we're going grandly. That's man, like something dead in the bush over here. Monday, Tuesday, that's real map me. By now, I should have about 2 eggs. So don't forget to let me know if the internet quality drop all there. You see? Look, we have an egg in this box over here. So she get fed up her waiting and most likely lay here. And you see how she raising up and she don't want to come out the box. This is what I tell you about her broody hen. So she there trying to warm up the egg. This one just lay. You still see the moisture on it. Eggs, even though it's fertilized by a male, it does not start to form a chick. A chicken has to stay sitting on the egg for 3 days before it starts to form and develop. So even though I put that underneath today, that not going to do nothing. That, she has to sit on that egg for 3 days for that egg to start to develop. Monday, Tuesday, come here. Monday, Tuesday. Buggers and them, they ain't coming. You come? Oh, not much bars again here. Well, you're doing a good job cleaning, girl. Watch all there. Hi, Lily. So quiet and so nice. See the railing? And this is my mango tree I planted last year. One, two, three, look like three sprout out. I've been honest with all you, that just be so nice being outside with them. Just watching them, just walk around, forge. The texture, the color, who running from here? Princess Margaret. My chick, it barely move. Nesha, go and take a walk in front there, girl. You hear me? All yeah? I'm going to take a walk in front. Watch them be following me. I'm going to take a walk to the main road. I have to sign off now because the internet will drop and it will even get grainy. When I put all my data up here, my data don't really work. So see you all in the next one, y'all. Bye bye. It switched the data, you know. Oh, well, I find the data showing.